Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Okay. Now it's on. What am I going to do? Let's just start with the opening. Welcome to Shabbat.
Hello, everyone. Shabbat Shalom.
Shalom.
It's good to be with all of you. Can everyone hear me? We're good? Okay. It's so nice to see so many faces of people who are returning and of familiar faces and of new-ish faces. Welcome. Glad to have all of you here. Before we jump in, I know you all are a friendly bunch, so you've probably done this, but I'm going to invite you to find someone that you don't know in this room. You can even stand up and to take just 30 seconds to greet them and to wish them a Shabbat Shalom. Go find someone.
Hello, it's Celeste. Yeah, thank you.
We will continue with words of Hine Matov, familiar words from our psalmist. Just a reminder how good it is after a long week to be in community together. Let's join in these words. We're on page 10.
שבדרכים גם יחד
So we've all come here today probably from different things, different paces, right? Some of us may have come and it was sort of a last minute thing, and some of us may have come and we planned to be here, but however you got here, we're really glad that you're here and that you can be here to celebrate Shabbat with us. And I think something that we forget for Shabbat is that Shabbat is all about taking a moment to pause, taking a moment to really take a break. And even if it's just for this hour that we're here together, we all deserve that opportunity to just be and to be here in the moment. So I want to share with you a poem called God is Here. There's something about pausing and saying, God is here. I've been starting my mornings by whispering these words to myself, a beautiful reminder that you are not alone, and that the creator of the world sees you and knows you and is with you. God is here. Sometimes I wake with a mind that doesn't seem to grasp the meaning of rest, of stillness or peace. And so I pray, or I try to pray. I take a few deep breaths. I let the silence meet me where I am. I picture the light breaking through the darkness. I don't know why, but that's what I picture. It's holy and peaceful and promising. I guess that's why. I invite my head to unfold like my hands and hand it all over, to no longer carry what my mind has gripped with anxiousness and overthinking and all the other things that pull me from where I need to be. My morning prayers are groggy thoughts seeking a foundation, a place to stand tall in the confidence of a forever hope. Peace perfectly meets me where I am. My prayers aren't poetic or perfect, but they don't need to be. And when I say amen, I know then and only then can I begin. Today begins with amen.
Amen.
We'll continue.
We're on the bottom of page 13, the second paragraph. Let's join together.
ישמחו השמיים ותגל הארץ, ירעם הים ומלואו. ישמחו השמיים ותגל הארץ, ירעם הים.
We're with you, Cantor House. We're gonna take two.
Take two. I was trying to find it the whole time. השמיים ותגל הארץ, ירעם הים ומלואו. ישמחו השמיים ותגל הארץ, ירעם הים ומלואו. ישמחו השמיים ותגל הארץ, ירם הים ומלואו, ישמחו השמיים ותגל הארץ, ירם הים ומלואו.
We'll continue on page 20. We'll be singing words of Lecha Dodi, and as you're singing it, just imagine the ancient Kabbalists. They felt for them that the synagogue was too constricting, and so they would run out into the fields, and they'd be wearing white, imagining that Shabbat is like greeting a bride, greeting a celebration. And so let's gather all of that joy and celebration in our lives with these words. Page 20. Top of 21. We rise and face the entrance. We are going to continue on page 28. And have you ever had just a surprise invitation? You weren't expected to be invited to something, or just something popped up on your schedule. Someone reached out that you didn't think about. Well, that is happening right now. That is the Baruch Hu. The Baruch Hu is meant to be your invitation to pray, even if it makes you a little uncomfortable, your invitation to be here in community, even if you feel like you don't really know a lot of people here. It's your invitation to show up and be present wherever it is that you are in this moment. So we're going to join together in these words and hopefully fill this sanctuary with that presence and space among us. We're on 28. Let's continue together on the bottom of 31. This is an hour of change. Within it we stand uncertain on the border of light. Shall we draw back or cross over? Where shall our hearts turn? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? This is the hour of change, and within it we stand quietly on the border of light. What lies before us? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? Baruch atah Adonai, hama'ariv aravim. We prepare in a moment for words of Shema. We're going to be on page 34. And again, this prayer comes always as such an important reminder of that ending of Adonai Echad, one. That even in these times, we might feel so distant from each other. We might feel so divided from one another, and this prayer reminds us that we are all interconnected, interdependent, just in our humanity. We'll join together in these words of oneness.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, 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 Adonai Echad. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם, בשבתך בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
Words to prepare us for Mi Chamocha. It's a poem called Cold Feet. They say cold feet are a sign of turning back, the failure of internal will. But I say it can be the other way, the body's anticipation of things to come. Whether demons are nipping at your heels or gnawing within, here's the thing. Settle quietly, close your eyes, then take the most deliberate, deep breath as though it were the very first. And when you can feel it penetrate every bit of your being, making the rest of your life possible, you open your eyes and take that first step out into the sea of reeds. Watered feet are just the price of coming home. We join together in these words of freedom, Mi Chamocha. We're on page 40.
מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש, מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש. נורא תהילות עושה פלא, נורא
We move into our nighttime prayer, Hashkivenu. It's on your supplemental page.
Let
We continue with the Amidah on page 46. We'll invite those who are able to please rise.
Adonai sefatai tivtach ufi agi tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu ve'Elohei avoteinu ve'imoteinu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, ve'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor ve'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Vekonei Hakol, Vezocher Chastei Avot V'imahot, Umevi Geula Livnei V'neihem, Leman Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer Umoshia Umagen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'ezrat Sarah. Atah gibor leolam Adonai, mechaye hakol atah, Rav lehoshia, Mashiv haruach umorid hagashem. Mechalkel chayim bechesed, Mechaye hakol berachamim rabim, Somech noflim verofech olim, Umatir asurim, Umekayem emunato, Lishenei afar. Michamocha ba'al givurot, Umido melach, Melech memit umechaye umatzmiach Yeshua v'ne'eman ata lehachayot hakol. Baruch atah Adonai mechaye hakol. Ata kadosh v'shimcha kadosh ukdoshim b'chol yom yehalelucha selah. Baruch atah Adonai Ha'el HaKadosh.
We'll continue through page 62 with words of the Amidah or some quiet time for your own prayers, and be seated whenever you are ready.
Baruch Boachem leshalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mimelech Malchei Hamlachim HaKadosh, Baruch Hu. Barchuni l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mimelech Malchei Hamlachim HaKadosh, HaKadosh, Baruch Hu. Tzeitzchem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mimelech Malchei Hamlachim HaKadosh, Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mimelech Malchei Hamlachim HaKadosh, HaKadosh, Baruch Hu.
Glenn agrees. Okay, can everyone hear me? Okay. My first real experiment in community building took place when I was in 11th grade. A group of Jewish high schoolers and I were charged with coordinating and leading a weekend camp for underserved elementary age children who were enrolled in a literacy program. If these young students passed a certain benchmark on their reading progress, their reward was to spend their very first weekend away from home at camp, singing and hiking and swimming. Now, I had grown up at a temple, and I thought I knew what community was all about, but I never had to build one before. And let me tell you, I'm not sure that I've ever worked that hard in my life to this day. I think that 11th grade was my peak. We planned each detail of the camp, from the welcome signs to the liability waivers, putting our hearts and our souls and our hours into crafting an experience that we hoped would inspire and propel these young children toward future growth. But it turns out that we built something more. We built our own village of leaders and learners, all dedicated to something that was greater than ourselves, a thriving, if temporary, community of purpose. One that transformed not only the students we were serving, but us as well. Following the episode of the golden calf, which we read last week, the Israelite community stands in need of repair. And so after he ascends the mountain once more and returns with a fresh set of stone tablets bearing the laws of Israel, Vayakel Moshe, Moses assembles the Israelites. He seeks to turn them back into a community of purpose through one of the most expansive, detailed projects recorded in our Torah, the building of the Mishkan, of the portable sanctuary, a holy space to worship God. Moses begins by inviting the Israelites to contribute gifts of precious metals and stones and woods and yarn and cloth, all essential elements for the Mishkan's design. And the Israelites respond with generosity, that Moses must ask them to stop bringing more items. In fact, the text says the people are bringing more than is needed. Just think about that. People who are bringing more than is needed. The Israelites wholeheartedly and enthusiastically engage in the project with each participant bringing their unique skills in craftsmanship and labor to bear under the guidance of master artisans, uniting the Israelites together as a community through their shared effort. And by pledging themselves towards a goal outside their individual and outside their familial needs, the Israelites create something far more profound than a physical space to connect with God. They create a spiritual space to connect with each other. In fact, Rabbi Jonathan Sachs of blessed memory points out that this is the one extended episode in the Israelites' journey through the wilderness when they aren't complaining or rebelling. This one moment. Because every Israelite remains focused on achieving their shared vision of building this Mishkan together. This collective building project reminds me of Habitat for Humanity. If any of you have ever done that before, people come together to create something, not for themselves, but in service of others. And though the labor is difficult and it requires focus and persistence and collaboration, through this process of building, something transformative happens. As the structure takes shape, so too does a new kind of community form. The 19th century Hasidic sage, Mordechai Yosef Leiner, surmises that in the building of the Mishkan, the Israelites were joined together, not just in purpose, but also in spirit. No one, he teaches, felt superior to another. At first, he says, each skilled individual completed their part of the construction, and it seemed to each one that their own work was extraordinary. Afterward, they saw how their several contributions to the service of the sanctuary were integrated. The boards and the sockets and the curtains and the loops all fit together as if one person had done it all. And then they realized how each one depended upon the other. Finally, they understood that what they had accomplished was not by virtue of their own skill alone, but that the Holy One, that God, had guided the hands of everyone who worked on it. The Israelites' experience reminds us that the greatest projects are never done alone. The families that we create are enriched by the gifts and the personalities of its various members, parents and grandparents and uncles and aunts and cousins and more. The buildings and the infrastructure that we construct require the artistry of a variety of skilled architects and laborers. And the communities that we bring to life are only as strong as those who choose to serve them. So many in contemporary Jewish life fret over the future of the synagogue. Certainly, all signs point to the Jewish American landscape looking much different in 20 years than it does right now. But I think we'll still be here. Because this place is one of the few remaining places in American society that isn't about you, and it's not about me. It's about us. In a world that teaches us to serve the self, to constantly pursue our individual desires above the communal needs, we're doing something different. This place, this community is not about the transactions that we make. It's not about the products that we consume or the views that we collect. It's about the relationships that we cultivate, the curiosity that we inspire, and the feeling of home that we build through the offerings of each one of us. This is our Mishkan. This is our sacred spiritual space, yes, to connect with God or whatever you believe is bigger than you, but also to connect with one another in purpose. And though they are unique in their culture and their character, I have to believe that we can create pieces of the camps that I was a part of in 11th grade and the Leo Beck temples in other spaces as well. That our schools don't simply have to be places where our kids go to learn. They can become communities of purpose that cultivate a sense of belonging and care not only for the knowledge that students acquire, but for the relationships that they foster. Our offices can become communities of purpose, where each individual contributes their skill to a collective undertaking that is bigger than any one person's ambition. Our greatest competitive advantage as a species is our ability to create and to build together structures and communities that exist much longer than any one of us. So as we move into this Shabbat, may we imagine the many mishkanot that we can build, fashioned from the precious gifts that each of us offer. Then this darkness that surrounds us during these difficult days may feel just a little bit lighter when we remember the power of vayakel, of gathering and constructing something sacred together. Shabbat shalom.
One way that we keep our communities solid and purposeful is to reach out to those who are in our midst, who are in need of healing, be it of body or of mind or of spirit. By doing these acts, which are small in sort of how we do it, picking up the phone or going to visit, make some of the largest impacts on the people who need it most. And so I invite us to together share names of those that we're thinking of today who need that healing, need that support, and then we'll take all of their names into our hearts and we'll join together in our prayer for healing. We'll start on this side, and if you have a name, please do share with us.
My name is Nama Pellet Fryman. My nephew, Reverend Pellet. My nephew's wife, Helen Dachbash. My sister's sister-in-law, Joanna Malkin. My first cousin, David Cates. Ophir Malkin, and the Malkin, Fryman, and Pellet families.
Thank you, Glenn. All right. Thank you. Yeah, Jody.
Ed Heiser, Jane Colvin, and Martha Halpern.
We take all of those names into our hearts and we join together in the middle of page 253 with the Misha Berach. Misha Berach Avoteinu Mikor HaBracha Leimotenu. May the source of strength who blessed the ones before us help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Mishe Berach Imotenu Mikor HaBracha Lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say
Aleinu can be found on page 282. Again, if you're able, please rise.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, latet gedula leotzer breshit, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. Page 287. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד, ושמו אחד, ושמו
Words to help prepare us for Mourner's Kaddish are on the top of page 291. These are from our teacher, Rabbi Richard Levy of blessed memory. It is hard to sing of oneness when the world is not complete, when those who once brought wholeness to our life have gone, and naught but memory can fill the emptiness their passing leaves behind. But memory can tell us only what we were in company with those we loved. It cannot help us find what each of us alone must now become. Yet no one is really alone. Those who live no more echo still within our thoughts and words, and what they did is part of what we have become. We do best homage to our dead when we live our lives more fully, even in the shadow of our loss. For each of our lives is worth the life of the whole world, and each one is the breath of the ultimate one. In affirming the one, we affirm the worth of each one whose life, now ended, brought us closer to the source of life, in whose unity no one is alone, and every life finds purpose. As we recite Kaddish this Shabbat, we especially remember our longtime congregant Eric Herzog, husband of Jane Herzog and father of Rabbi Kimberly Herzog Cohen and Andrew Herzog, whom death has taken from us recently. And we link his name with Florence Adler, Don Ball, Minnie Brockman, Charles Brucker, Shirley Crane, Cantor Joseph Seisner, Samuel Deitch, Rose Friedman, Marilyn Garber, Joshua Gluckstern Rice, Joseph Goldenberg, Richard Hammerman, Fannie Harris, Ruth Heckler, Alvin Karp, J.I. Leance, John Lenahan, Robert Lieberman, Rose Lieberman, Shirley Mantell Friedman, Eva McGraw, Eve Millman, Ted Moyer, Manuel Myers, Catherine Pierce, Maria Panetta, Sidney L. Palmer, Elaine Bunchy-Roger, Goldie Rosenbaum, Morris Rothbart, Samuel David Salway, Carol Levy Webb, Israel Mike Weisbrod, and Anne Wolkov. If there are other names that we should add, or if I mispronounce the name of your loved one, I'll invite you to please say their name at this time. We also think of those who have died as innocent victims of violence in Israel, in Gaza, and around the world. We join together as one community in words of memory and comfort, Mourner's Kaddish, which can be found on page 294. Please rise. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah, be'amad ivrach hirotei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon uvyomechon uv'chayei techol beit Yisrael, ba'agala uvizman kari v'imru, amen. Yehei shmei rabbah mevarach leolam ulamei amaya, Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yit'halal shemei dekudesha barechu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata ta'amiram be'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel v'imru amen. Zichronam levracha. May their memories be a blessing to all of us.
Oseh shalom b'mromav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu. Oseh shalom b'mromav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu. Oseh shalom b'mromav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu. Ya'aseh shalom, ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh shalom, ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Oseh shalom b'mromav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu. Oseh shalom b'mromav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu. Oseh shalom b'mromav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu. Ya'aseh shalom, ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh shalom, ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam.
Shabbat shalom.